So Predz, it's an honour to have you on the platform. You're an influential DJ and artist, and it's a privilege to have you here.
Thanks for having me, man. Really appreciate that. Thank you, bro.
So the first question I'd like to ask you is, you were born in Brent, and according to Last FM, you emerged in the music scene in 2015. What sparked your passion for music and DJing?
It's mad that you said 2015 because it goes way deeper than 2015. Goes back to the early thousands, me being an actual teenager. I come up on the grime scene, so I was spitting over grime sets. That's like, for people that don't know, that's like you got a DJ mixing songs and it's like a cypher, and there's a room of MCs that just spitting our lyrics back to back. I used to go to like youth clubs, I used to perform at certain parties, and then that was like pirate radio, and then everything just changed. Revolution changed. This was way before YouTube, way before anything was filmed. You had to physically go to places for people to see. And then I started actually selling my mixtapes as well around early thousands. I was kind of lost with my sound, and then I say around 2017, 2017, that's when people really started to take notice, mainly people in my community. And then I've done like a mini headline show as well. But it's been a long journey, long.
And can you just tell me a bit about you selling mixtapes? So how did you get your name out there as an artist?
Yeah. So in regards to selling mixtapes, it was really, really funny because prior to that, I grew up on the streets. So I wouldn't say I was involved involved too deep in the streets, but a bit of dibbling and dabbling. But I used the same method in regards to what I was selling, and then just convert it into selling mixtapes. So I used to have a laptop, and I'll just literally buy the CDs, burn the CDs on one laptop. I used to package it myself. I used to wrap it up in plastic, and then me and a couple of my friends, we used to go around the whole UK and just approach people and say, are you into UK music? And it was funny because when we was doing it, the scene wasn't what it was now. There was hardly any like millionaires from our scene. So when we're going up to people and saying to people, do you know about UK rap, or do you know about any? People didn't really know. They only knew about Dizzie, Rascal and Tinchy Schreider and potentially end ups. So we helped introduce people to the sound as well, because it's like we sold over 25,000 mixtapes across the UK.
Wow.
Literally, we was actually like selling them like they were drugs. Trust me.
That's incredible. And one of the songs that I was really interested in was your song Misunderstood. I just thought that was brilliant. Everything about it. Including that I also saw George the Poet, who you're friends with.
Yes.
So why do you think Those From the Ends are so misunderstood?
Well, I think for me personally, growing up in that kind of place, especially when we rewind it to when I was a little kid, I never used to see no positive influences. The majority of the time when you would see people like driving big cars or, you know, having nice possessions and that, if we're going to be brutally honest, times have changed now, but the majority of people were doing either robberies, selling drugs. That's all we saw. So when we're going out into this world and we're coming from them kind of backgrounds, people are not seeing that. They're just thinking, yeah, these kids are just rebels, you're not understanding. But that's what I say from the jump, I feel was definitely misunderstood. And then I even realised, like, growing up, if I'm in a lift with someone from a different community and they see someone like me, up until this day I still experience it, they might just, if they got their handbag, they might just pull it back. Like thinking that I'm going to do whatever. So that, and alongside so much different things as well, 'cause I don't want to fully drag it out because we're going to have a great convo today, but those are some of the fundamental things that I think make people from our community misunderstood.
And even, following on from that, single, Georgia Poet appeared in your music video. Please just tell us a bit how he came to appear your music video and even the history of your friendship.
George is my brother. He's like little bro. He's like 1 year younger than me. Maybe 2 years young. We grew up in the same estate. We was little kids. We used to sleep over each other's house, eating Rice Krispies and Cocoa Pops as little kids, man. That's my bro. You know what I mean? So, hey, like, if I ever need anything, I know I can call on him. And it's likewise for him. You know what I mean? And I'm just so proud of him. So when I even made that song, I mentioned his name. So I said, if I'm mentioning his name, come on, I gotta get a cameo from him. Do you know what I mean? So I phoned him and I said, bro, I need you. I've got a video shoot in the ends. And he's very passionate about showcasing the ends. You know what I mean? And he just pulled up, man. Pulled up, and yeah, it was good to see, man. It was good to see him out there. Big up George.
And, what were some of the key challenges you faced growing up on St. Raph's estate?
Definitely, majority of the things that I was kind of mentioning earlier, definitely like the lack of opportunities. Now I'm older and I'm in different circles and I'm in different environments and I'm seeing like things that have been put in place for other people in other communities. I'm like, rah. Like, I thank God that I've turned out this way. You know what I mean? And I now want to like to shine a light and hopefully inspire people that not just come from my community but similar communities to mine. 'Cause, like I said, growing up, look at the sort of stuff that we're seeing on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And it was just normal. Because I'm DJing, I'm always smiling. People really don't know like where man come from and the sort of stuff that I was used to seeing growing up. So yeah. There was a lot of things, definitely. There was even a point when you do your research, even when you came from my area, so I grew up in an estate called St. Raph's, as you said. The surrounding areas like Church Road, Stonebridge, those areas at one point, when people were applying for jobs, if you put that you're from those estates, they wouldn't have even affected you from getting a job until they put some sort of law in place. Definitely look it up. A non kind of discriminational thing in place. But yeah, just coming up from those communities at a point, it's better now, but people are looking down at you because of what's going on, So,
How did such, growing up in such a, tough and difficult area shape you as an artist?
I feel like when it came to my music, I definitely had a lot to talk about. It just was real to me. Definitely so much inspiration. Anytime I'm talking, it's definitely, like, for me, music is a way to express how I feel. So when I first started doing music, I had a lot of angry lyrics, a lot of violent lyrics. So at that time, I look back now and I don't even regret it because I needed to let that all out. There's a culture clash with my parents, and my parents, I was like the first generation born here, but they were raised out in Congo. So there was a huge culture clash growing up. So I couldn't really speak to my parents about what's going on because they're trying to find their way. They've just come from Congo. They come into this country to better their life. So literally music was a way for me to just express what I was feeling. There was a lot of anger in me sometimes as well. And then as I've got older, I've just started talking about different things, different perspectives. And so yeah.
I mean, one of my favourite songs that you actually released was Protect Me.
Love.
I mean, I listened to that so many times at the gym when you released it. and I'm glad to see it has over 150,000, streams on Spotify. What was the inspiration behind the song, and why do you think it became so popular?
One thing I'd definitely say, anytime you're doing something good, you're always gonna have to put up with a fight. There's always gonna be like some red-eye people that are just not happy with doing what you're doing. And I believe it's not my job to just fight every single individual. My faith in God's quite strong. And like I said, it's a form for me to express how I feel. So at that time, I was just like, Lord, just protect me. Because there's people that are out here wishing madness on me. I don't even know who they are. People just trying to find anything to, bring negative vibes towards me. So I remember when I got into the studio, I actually recorded that in a bedroom and then took it to the studio later. It was like a fresh vibe. I didn't write it. At that point, I don't write. This is like on that day, that was the vibe. And there was a couple of us in the room, we just all vibed. And when I came up with that chorus, we knew we had something, but I didn't know that would do what it did. Prior to releasing that song, I remember uploading songs on Spotify, and I had like, no exaggeration, I had like 20 monthly listeners, and my songs are not even getting 100 streams, not even 50 streams. I was thinking, what? How do you crack this? This is like 2017. I'm like, what's going on? And then I released an EP called Couple Pounds in a Dream, and Protect Me was a song that was taken off the EP. And then I remember I done a little show in the bottom of a pub. Big up my guy Idris. He helped me put the show together, and I invited loads of local artists from my community to come down as well, and then released that song the Friday after the show. And then I remember just going on my Spotify and I'm seeing it had like 1,000 views. I was like, 1,000 streams. I was like, what? I said, alright, cool. Didn't say nothing. I didn't really go on it every single day. I don't know. And I think I checked it again a couple of days later. I was like, it's 5,000. I'm like, what? Went back on it again. 20,000, 30,000, 50,000. I was like, huh? And then I actually recall leaving my house and just hearing multiple cars playing it. You understand? And I'm like, I wanted that to say, yo, that's my song. But I didn't say that. And then I also remember there was quite a few community stations that playlisted that song. It was playlisted. And you gotta remember, that's big because Protect Me was not put on no editorial playlist. It didn't get no backing, no support. Like, I've always wanted a manager or whatever, but I don't have one at the moment. God willing, right timing is gonna come. But this was just me uploading the song. Big up Big Zeke's that featured on the song as well, cause his contribution was huge as well. But I literally just saw a transition. Like, I saw people are actually taking in this song and doing a couple of performances and just seeing people sing along to it. People approach me on the streets like, bro, you got one right now. I'm like, bro. They didn't know. So that was the first time I actually seen. When it hit 100,000, I was like, wow. Like, okay, it's actually real. You can actually put out a good song, and if it resonates with the people, you don't need marketing. I mean, you don't need big marketing, whatever. Marketing is always needed. Marketing, that word, you can break it down in so much different ways. But I'm just saying, you can just be an independent artist and release a great song, and it can touch the people. And that was the first song that I put out that really touched the people.
I actually really enjoyed the music video for the song. Can you just talk us through like how you came up with the concept for the music video? Because it was such a vibe, you know, watching it.
Yeah. I need to big up the director, Jax Luther, you know. He came up with the whole script. He directed everything. Bless him, man. Grateful for that vibe. I remember the day was just some great energy. What I try to do when I work with directors, I just work with directors that I trust. I'm not really that visually creative. My strengths are more in the booth, so I gotta give the director his credit. He told me what he needed. He said whatever he needed, I just came with it. He said he wanted a white convertible. We got that. He wanted a group of people. We got that. Whatever props he needed, we had that. But yeah, I gotta give him the props and the credit for the video. Yeah,
that's brilliant. You've written and produced other hit songs. Beg Friends, Sweet Boy, Crud, Stay Away, I Got You. How do you constantly find new and innovative ways to reinvent yourself as an artist?
That's a very good question, man. I think for me, I'm always going to just go back on the point of music is a way for me to just express how I feel and my journey in life. But I'm just in so much different places, so much different rooms, and anywhere I go, I'm just soaking in whatever environment I'm in. I'm just soaking it in. Do you know what I mean? I can go to somewhere and go check somebody and just get inspired, and then go home, and then an idea just comes to my head. Right now, I don't even write lyrics. I haven't really written anything for a long time because I've been focusing on DJing. We'll get into that after, but how ideas just come to my head, I literally, the majority of my hits come in the shower. And then I literally come out of the shower, I'll still be wrapped in a towel, and I'll just record voice notes on my phone. I don't write, and then I'll just go to the studio and just literally just vibe it. It just depends how I feel, and I'm aware of the sounds that's going on. Being a DJ, I listen to everything else that's going on, so I can just take it in and be like, all right, sonically this is where we're at. All right, cool. Let me get with certain producers, and I'm really hands-on with producers as well, so I can get in the studio, and I don't like when producers send me beats. I like where there's just nothing, and I'll be like, all right, cool, bro, load up the keys. Yeah, like that's all right, cool. Can we get some strings on top of that? All right, cool. Yeah, all right, let's go for this kind of junk here. Yeah. All right, speed it up, slow it up. All right, cool. Let's put bass on, like really exec produce. Like it's different. I think I need to show the people what I actually do when I'm in the studio. I will actually do it, but it's literally from scratch, man. Like real musician, because when we take it deeper, it all started in church for me. So I was a drummer at church from a young age, from 11 years old. A lot of my family, they were into the music industry. They were in the church stuff, so they were in the choir. My family, like my uncles and that, playing drums, guitars, all of that. So I've been around that from a baby. So yeah, when it comes to music, don't play with Predz. He's a serious guy.
And I think you're incredibly underrated. I mean, I remember, is it DJ AG you were singing at his?
Yeah.
It's just the raw talent that you have. So I just want to ask you, as an artist, before we go into your DJing, how do you constantly find ways to constantly like believe in yourself and release new content? Because when somebody's as talented as you, and sometimes they don't always get the recognition, I think you should have got your flowers long time ago.
Appreciate that.
Mainstream wise.
Yeah.
How do you find ways to keep going?
Good question, man. Very good question, because right now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not even focusing on music, on releasing music at this current stage of my life. To keep going, I think it takes the faith that you need to have in yourself. You need to kind of be delusional. That's why you've got to wake up every morning and be like, I'm gonna make it. And my journey coming up, especially in the music game, was I just witnessed doors just slamming in my face. Coming where we're coming from, hardly anyone wanted to give us any opportunities, but we just loved it. I want to big up my bro Manny, who's been he's like my right hand, but he's also recorded me from the age of 13. And I remember he called me in 2011 and he said to me, Predz, it's your time. I said, what are you talking about? And from that day, he's never left me. He's always been someone who's pushed me. And he's gone on to do some big stuff, big engineer. Look out for him. But it's hard. It's hard. You'll be going up to people trying to submit stuff, and if you don't have the capital as well, that's another thing. Yeah, I'm at that stage where I now understand that I don't even take anything personal, because I've realized that it's all a game. And you have to know how to play this game, or it will literally mentally mess up your head, because it's not the most talented people that are gonna have the light shining on them. It's the people that are playing the game in the right way. But where I'm at is that I'm at a certain age in my life and a certain stage in my life where I've got to prioritize other things. When I was coming up, I was delusional, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was actually obsessed with music, and I look back and it was so obsessed that I wouldn't even change it though. I'm not saying it in any way of regret. I love how everything has panned out and where everything's going. But there was a point in my life where I was putting my life around music. And what did that do? Man, it made me weird socially. I didn't do the average things that everyone else was doing, like going to cinema or going on holidays in my early 20s and all that sort of stuff. I just locked myself in the studio, bro. Like, blood, sweat, tears. But that's only one side of the whole journey. That's not even a side that's gonna guarantee that you're gonna actually make a living, because let's say it's time for you to get a deal or anything, like, you might not even have the money to even get the right lawyer. And then you're already kind of screwed, even though you've got all this talent. Do you know what I'm saying? So, I hope I've answered your question.
You've answered it well.
Yeah, because I think I kind of see me, when you answer a question, I'll be like, my mind works differently, but yeah, cool.
And, you know, in 2020, you released a single, Naughty Naughty, under Warner Music. How did you end up signing with a label? Oh.
Yeah. Right time, right place, right people. And I need to salute my bro Rhymes. Rhymes is a huge producer, one of the biggest producers in this country, and one of very few people that believe in Predz. I connected with him in 2019 and we got into a studio session, and after that one studio session he was like, yo, dope. Ended up getting a feature on one of my records. This is for a song that I can't even get into it right now, but the way this guy just believed in me, but he also believed in me as a DJ as well, and he also would always tell me, Predz, the scope, the way this music thing is going, don't get me wrong, I want to push you, but your DJing is working. We need to push that. At that time, I never even wanted to, like, the way this DJing thing's going, like, I'm not gonna lie, I never really dreamed about it. I never dreamed about being a DJ. I never thought I'd be on these big stages or be in these rooms for DJing. It was never that. My passion was to write songs and go on these mad stages and hear people singing about my songs, not me playing other people's songs, but it's mad how life works out. So to cut a long story short, the opportunity was given with this Naughty Naughty record. It started out as a demo. Rhymes done some work on it with Swarmz, and then he said to me, "Oh, Predz, do you want to get involved?" And the song was actually signed to Rhymes' label called Westgate, and then Atlantic Records, which is a sub-label to Warner, they licensed the record. And that's pretty much how it worked. But there's a mad story behind that record that a lot of people don't know. So Naughty Naughty, believe it or not, was supposed to have Tory Lanez on the track. I'm gonna get into it. Yeah. So I kind of cut this. It's such a long story. I want to just get straight to the point. So imagine Tory Lanez, the label paid Tory Lanez to jump on this record. When they presented it to me and they said to me, "Oh, we're gonna get Tory Lanez on this record," I was like, what are you not talking about? I thought they were talking. It was Rhymes that actually said to me, "We got my guy Rhymes. That, yeah, Predz, we're gonna get Tory Lanez." I was just like, yeah. But in my mind, I'm like, bro, what you talking about? Because this was during lockdown. I can't remember at that time. Tory Lanez was doing quarantine radio. So his Instagram lives were going insane. He was getting some of the most views on his lives around that time. And these lot are telling me, "Yo, we're gonna get Tory Lanez at that time." I was like, bro, what are you talking about? He had like, I think at that time he had like 60 million monthly listeners. He was featuring on a song that was like top 10 in the Billboard charts with Jack Harlow at the time. I was like, you guys are talking nonsense. But I didn't say nothing to them. I was just like, yeah. And then, on my birthday in 2020, my birthday in 2020, we're in lockdown. I got back the verse. Got the Tory Lanez verse. I was like, what? Don't want to lie to you, tears were dripping down my eyes. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what? Me? When I'm from St. Russ, I've got a verse back from Tory Lanez. The paperwork came through for Atlantic. I was actually signing a deal. It was a decent deal as well. It was just for a single. So in my mind, I was like, yo, once this single comes out, and then I come out of my cool off period as well, which is like 6 months, I can actually do my thing and I'll have a mad buzz because I'm gonna have a song with one of the biggest artists in the world, not even just in the UK. So the plan was to have Tory Lanez and then Swarmz. I need to big up Swarmz as well, because the timing for Swarmz was mad, because he also just hit 1 million views during COVID as well, because he was doing similar lives. I think he was hitting over 100k viewers on his lives as well. So the whole idea behind it, like, before you even listen to the track, you're like, you've got two heavyweights that the world is talking about. So that was supposed to come through, and yeah, everything went through. We done the video shoot for it, the same video that you see for Naughty Naughty, but there's another version where Tory Lanez, he done his part. So the label didn't just pay for him to do his verse. They paid for him to do his video. We have done the video, everything. Song was supposed to come out, so it was going to be Predz UK featuring Tory Lanez and Swarmz. I kept it close, and I was gonna like scream it out, but I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna say nothing. I didn't even announce that I signed the deal. Like, yeah, I just said to myself, we're just going to keep it low. We're just going to shock the world and just, when this tune comes out, it's just going to go mad. I was getting ready to leave my job. It did. But here's what happened. So I remember, I think it was in 2020, in the month of July, we're getting ready for the song scheduled to be released. The video was about to drop on GRM Premiere. So, the idea was that Swarmz announced that him and Tory Lanez got a record coming on. At that time, I only had like 4,000 followers or something like that, so people didn't really know me. So how we wanted to introduce it is that you say it's my song later, so let the blogs talk about it. So when Swarmz announced, yep, Tory Lanez and Swarmz got a collab, all the blogs are air up. We're like, wow, Tory Lanez and Swarmz got a track coming up. That was on a Monday, and then on a Tuesday, I was gonna come out and be like, yeah, you see that Tory Lanez and Swarmz record? That's my joint. And I filmed the video, like a little video on iPhone, and I was just about to post it at like 3 o'clock. And then I got the call from Rhymes at 1 o'clock, and he said to me, Predz, we got to take, the label have to take off Tory Lanez. I said, what? It's because of what happened with Megan Stallion. Yeah. So what happened was Tory Lanez was blacklisted, didn't it? Around that time he got blacklisted, so there was a time where you wouldn't hear him on major radio. He wasn't getting support on Apple Music, Spotify. If a label's gonna make that kind of big investment, they need that. At the time, I didn't understand. I was just vexed. I remember the A&R calling me. I said, bro, can't we do nothing? He said, Predz, no, there's nothing we can do. Sorry, but hang up. These times, I wasn't really thinking how much everyone got messed over. I'm just thinking about me. It's only I look back and I realize, forget the fact that they just paid him all that money, but the marketing and the infrastructure that was set in place to release that record was crazy. I saw like the 6-month rollout. I'm literally looking at it and I'm thinking, bro, this is my song. The video shoot itself was insane. Bro, I had the same PR as Ed Sheeran, bro.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, bro. The president of the label, usually at the level that you're at, when you come in, you ain't even really done nothing with the label. You're not really gonna speak to the president or anything. This is during lockdown, so I couldn't even go into the Atlantic building or Warner building. Everything was done via Zoom meetings or whatever. Like, but the A&R that was representing me, huge A&R in the business. Get me, big up Rich, he's huge A&R. He was representing me, and the vice president at the time as well. These were some big dogs that you dream of working with. I think I used to email these guys all the time at one point and never got a word back. So bro, the way everything was set was crazy. But then when that happened, got that call, bro, disappointed. But it hurt me, bro. At that time, it took a big toll on me. I'm not gonna lie. Just knowing that you could just see it coming. Like, I remember speaking to Swarmz as well. He's telling me, because he already was quite established. He's had songs that have been quite successful. And he said to me, Predz, when you put out this record, you know, things are gonna change now, you know. But I still didn't go and boast about it to the world. I was just like, you know what, let's see what happens. And then, bam, that's what happened. And then, you know, I got to big up the label. At the time, I didn't understand. So only when you look back as a big man, you reflect, you're like, okay, everything's a business. They're not, my parents are not here to hold my hand. You get me? If they put money in, they gotta get it back, and usually they gotta get it back times 3. They're already in a big hole, and they still decided to put out the record. They put Simba on it. Big up my guy Simba. Big up my guy Noizy as well from Albania. So it was Predz, myself, Predz featuring Swarmz, Simba, and Noizy. And the song, for me, it done amazing. 5 million views, 3 million streams. But when you look at versus what the label put into it, how much you think you're getting per like million streams, like, or per million views? Do you know what I mean? So because I don't know if they got their money back for Tory. I don't know. But so there was a time even after that where I just didn't understand. I can't lie, I did feel a bit hard done by a little bit as well. But then you get older, you get more mature, and you just think about stuff. And I thank God that I never said nothing mad, because I might have been thinking certain things, but I never like phoned up anyone for the label or said anything offensive or whatever. I just went through it. But it did affect me mentally. But I had certain of my good friends around me around that time to just support it. And the track did good. It did actually end up doing good, but not what it was originally supposed to do, man. So that's a little story for you, bro.
I just think like I know that you grew up in a church, but there's like a book in Proverbs that says a man may plan his way, but the Lord determines his steps. It's like sometimes like we have a plan of what we think life is going to be. I mean, there's no doubt about it. If you had jumped on the track with Tory Lanez and Swarmz, that probably would have been the most watched. But then if you look at a verse, if you had actually put that out, that might have actually been detrimental to your DJing career. So it's like all things work together in a sense. Like you might not have done well in that music, but what we're going to move on to is the DJing, which you're getting so much recognition and you deserve it too. So, you know, you are a highly successful DJ. You've DJed for the likes of Idris Elba, Krept and Konan, Anthony Joshua and Ivan Toney. How have you managed to build such a successful DJing career?
I think firstly the foundation comes from being from Northwest. Like that's where the inspiration comes from, and I need to big up the DJs before me that, you know, paved the way. There's a sound called like Strike Force, the original Strike Force. I need to big up like Big Strike and Nickel Sean, Quincy, Invasion, and just a lot of the DJs in Northwest. I used to be a little kid listening to them on pirate radio stations, and that just inspired me along the journey. I just wanted to collect records and I wanted to just play music. But when it was time for me to now step up and start doing my thing, because I went through the circuit of DJing at house parties to start with. I was DJing at parties that only had like 10 people attend. Like I wasn't getting money for years. I was catching the night buses with my CDs. Like I went through it to get to where I am now. It wasn't no overnight thing. But I said to myself, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this proper. And I love Northwest London. I'm gonna represent Northwest London anywhere I go. But I always said, yo, WWW stands for World Wide Web. And I need the world to lock in to what I'm doing. Because I want the world to lock into my music. So I kind of treated it the same, as in I want my thing to be international. I didn't just want my thing to just be a local thing. Do you know what I mean? And I love my area because my area supported me coming up and my area kind of sent me off. But then when I started connecting with certain promoters and just connecting with certain people, it was my talent that spoke for itself. You know, big up all the promoters that believe in me to do the job. I never fail, man. They know that. And then, yeah, you know how it is, man. You play somewhere, shell it, and then someone else would be like, yeah, bro, good. Wait to play for my man. Oh, this person got this and this, but that's just how it goes, man. Like, literally, I'll just get a random call one day and be like, so and so's in town. Do you wanna pull up or whatever? And that's just kind of how it's gone. But I've just made sure when it comes to my craft and how I play and what I do, what's really unique about me when I also play, like, whilst I'm playing songs or whatever, I'm on the mic as well. So I DJ, I host for myself. Not that much DJs do both to the highest quality, to the high level that I do it, you know. So yeah, man, we're blessed in that way, man. Blessed. Been in some big rooms, man. I personally think I'm just getting started though, man. There's so much more to unlock as well. Like, I really want to take it to that next level as well, and I'm doing that again by myself. There's no booking agent, there's no like team or nothing behind that. So once we get the right infrastructure behind to actually add to what I've been able to do, the sky's the limit.
And interesting, the thing that I really do kind of like about your journey is there's not a lot of black DJs that are in the public light. You know, I've seen a lot of, you know, white British DJs like Calvin Harris and others, but to see a prominent black DJ, and you are going to become more and more prominent as time goes on, it's just so encouraging.
I think there is though. I hear where you're kind of coming from, because you're most probably doing research into me. Do you know what I mean? But I do feel there are quite the DJing game. If you do like look into the depths of it, especially within the last couple of years, it's mad. There are quite a few DJs that are coming through and doing their thing. But that Calvin Harris level, that's a next level, bro. Even me, I can't say I'm near there, but I appreciate that you're putting that kind of energy out there, and by the grace of God, we're going to get to that. But yo, Calvin Harris, Black Coffee, all those guys, they're the big dogs, right? The DJ Khaleds and all of that. I rate and respect those guys and how far they've come. You know what I mean? So,
And also, you know, I want to focus particularly on your DJing experience for Idris Elba. So what was it like DJing for his Christmas party, and what was the experience like?
Idris, big up Idris, man. Cool brother, man. He's actually cool. He's relaxed, and the whole purpose of that event was to raise money, because he's got a charity in it. You know, see him if you follow him, man. He's really passionate about ending knife crime. All the proceedings from this event went towards in support of his charity. So from that, I was already just excited to be a part of it, because sometimes I forget my stories. When I'm talking, I'm like, oh, is this what I also do? So I've been mentoring and coaching people mentoring and coaching young people for over 10 years. Yeah, over 10 years. So I've really got a passion when it comes to like working with youth, working with young people. Like, that's something that I love doing. So anything around that, like, I'm down, I'm involved, as long as it makes sense and we can clearly see what you're doing and lines of what we're doing. I'm more than happy to be on board. So from that alone, I was like, yeah, let me get involved. But then him, just a normal person, man. And look, a lot of these big names, a lot of them are down to earth people, man. You can reason with them. You know what I mean? With with Idris, it was in a party setting, so it wasn't like I had a chance to pull him over and have a deep, in-depth conversation with him. But the vibe I got from him is that, yeah, man, he just wanted to have a good time, and he just showed me nothing but love on that day. You know what I mean? And hopefully get to do some more stuff with Idris, man. Big up Idris, big up Idris's team as well, man. Real people, man.
And another part you've actually you've DJed at events for like Krept and Konan and Ivan Toney.
Yes. Krept at Konan, Ivan Toney. Big up Chip as well. I need to big up my guy Krayzee. All those names that you mentioned there, it's mainly through him, you know. Krayzee is, again, he's someone who has believed in Predz for quite a while. Big up my guy Benny big up Benny as well. But yeah, anytime these guys are just looking for DJs, man, Krayzee will phone my phone and be like, yo, Predz, do you wanna DJ for these guys? They're looking for a DJ. So he's done that quite a few times. Chip's done that quite a few times as well. Chip made me DJ alongside Anthony Joshua one time. You know what I mean? So anybody that's ever just helped and given any type of strength in any way, I'm grateful, because the way I see it, no one don't owe you nothing in this life. Do you know what I mean? So anytime where people are just showing love based on the talent and the skills, I'm just mad appreciative. So anyone on my journey that support it, man, I want to take this time and say thank you.
Thank you. And following on from that, another song I like of yours is actually let's also touch upon, you know, the celebrity stardom that you're starting to get, because I've seen your growth, you know, over the years. You're in the presence of some of the biggest people in the UK.
Yes.
JME, Chip, Dizzie, Rascal. How do you handle the pressures that come with fame while building your brand as a DJ?
Yeah. Good question. To be honest with you, I wouldn't say I'm too famous where when I step out of my house, I got paparazzi or people are stopping me every second, and I wouldn't say it's at that level. But I feel the level that it is at is where there's a lot of people that feel entitled and feel like, Predz, you're in these places, you know, bringing me. What are you doing for me? Kind of thing. And this, I feel like that's something that I more have to deal with and manage. It's just more of a challenge, because people come up to me quite often and they salute me. Yeah, and they'll be like, yeah, man, Predz, man, thanks for all that DJ set you done there, or you know what I mean, you're doing your thing, people might want to take pictures or whatever. I don't mind that. That's nothing. Sometimes it might be in an inappropriate time or whatever, you might just, your headspace might not be there, but that's just the life of being a creative. Like, if you're out, it's like you can never switch off if you're out in the public eye. Do you know what I mean? So that might be a little challenge as well. But just the managing individuals' expectations, I think that is a challenge and something that I'm getting better at as time goes on. But that's what I'd say would be some of the challenges. And a lot of people forget as well that we're humans, man. Do you know what I mean? Same way you bleed, we bleed as well, man. You know? But you really have to be like mentally strong to be in this kind of business, because there has been certain occasions where some madness has happened in my personal life, and I've got a booking within the next day or even within the next hour. I'm self-employed, bro. If I don't go, I'm not paying my bills. So there ain't no time off. Our life's not like the majority that you got your secure job or whatever. You can take sick leave. There's no sick leave for us. You understand? And whilst we're playing, we're not gonna go on the stage and be like, hey guys, this and that's happening in our life. We've still gonna give you 100%. We're still gonna uplift the energy, and you won't even know. You know, some people might think everything's so good because we're posting certain things on the internet, but yo, there's social media and there's real life. You understand? There's real life, and that's why there's even going to be a limit on certain things that I'm even going to come up on the internet and talk about, because before I do any of this stuff, the main thing I want to do is be a man first. Do you get it? Could do all this music stuff and whatever, but when you die, what's everyone going to talk about? Yes, they're going to, if your music can leave an impact, but they're also going to talk about how you've made them feel as a person as well, you know?
I mean, that's so sound. I mean, social media shows you part of the picture. It doesn't show 100%. You the full story.
You'll be surprised, bro, how much people are betraying a lifestyle that they're not living on the internet, bro. You'll be surprised. And even me, if I wanted to, I could gas up on my socials and do certain things to get more engagement and more followers, but I just try. My thing is this, let me just keep it authentic and keep it true to myself, because it means I have no job to like act or nothing like that. I'm just showing people what's actually happening in my life. But yeah, man, you'll be surprised how much people are really going through it behind the scenes as well, mentally, you know. Yeah, man, social media and reality, two different things. We really, I advise people just know the difference, especially the young people that are coming up, man. Understand the difference, man. If I could talk to the younger me, I would have definitely told myself to not really compare my life to other people's lives, because everybody's story is already written. You can't. Timing is everything. Alignment is everything. Now, when the opportunity that I feel should have been for me, if it's not for me, then I'm like, bro, it's not for me. I need to big up Dizzie. Rascal. I was with him one time, and I remember he said to me, like, there was a booking or something that it got cancelled or something. He said, well, I'm not going to beat myself up, Predz. If it didn't go through, then it just weren't for me. And I was like, bro, you looking at how much money is on the table with this? So he's like, it's not for me, Predz. I was like, raw. But then I started kind of applying that into my life, sorry. And yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, my cousin always used to say to me, you know, not now doesn't mean never.
Very true.
Sometimes the door's closed for a specific season. Maybe God trying to teach us a lesson.
Thank
we need
you.
to learn from life.
Agreed, bro.
But,
agreed.
Yeah.
So many times people have span back. Do you know what I mean? So much time, man. So much time. So yeah, you're right.
And you know, another, you know, one of your songs I really like is Doubted You. Now I like that because, you know, when I think of, you know, faith themes in music, you don't get a lot of it. You might get Swarmz by Your Grace, or you'll get a Gets track, or you'll get a Wretch 32 track. But your song, the thing I liked about your song is that it was so uplifting, and it made me feel so happy. So can you tell me about the inspiration behind, you know, your song, and what were you thinking when you wrote it?
That day, I think I was inspired when I first made that song. I just made the chorus. I need to big up Jordan Bakila because he helped on that chorus, but I just came from meeting Dizzie Rascal, and I introduced Rhymes to Dizzie Rascal and made them link together, and for me it just brought me so much joy because Rhymes was able to do something big for me. Do you know what I mean? And I know that Rhymes respects Dizzie, and to just see them two get in the room together and I was a part of that, I don't know, man, I just left with a bit of joy, and I went to a studio session straight after. Maybe a bit of that was in my mind, but just that day there was a certain feeling that I had, and I just said, you know what, it's like we need to fuse some like the Afro sound kind of a little bit, but put some chords on top of it, and I just felt different that day, a feeling that I've never felt before. And we came up with that chorus, and it was crazy because on the last verse I said a prayer on the song. That prayer was done the same day that I created the first verse. That was part of it, so that's how I felt. I remember there was like 6 people, and we had to tell everyone, yo, shh. And that was my first take prayer. Like I was just, that's how I felt at the time, because I think when you relate to what I'm basically saying on that song is that man's gone through certain trials and tribulations, and in that time I'm almost like, God, like why am I going through this? Do you know what I'm trying to say? But the majority of those things now, when I look back, man, whatever I felt was affecting me at the time, or whatever hardship I've gone through, look at the person that it's turned me into. Do you know what I mean? It's really like, I've learned how to flip what some people would deem as negative. I've been able to flip it. Like, and another thing, like, I appreciate the fact that you're saying like the recognition and that. And again, I don't think no one owes me anything, but one of the things that helped me strive, believe it or not, yeah, I've never been nominated for an award, ever. Yeah, bro. Not even given an award. Predz has never been nominated for an award. In this life, you can either cry or laugh about things. I could have sat around and be like, yo, when you're there doing stuff for approval, you could be like, yo, this, I ain't even getting appreciated. The scene ain't even doing this, the scene ain't even doing that. I said to myself, yeah, you don't want to, we're getting harder. Raising the levels harder and harder and harder. So I'm actually thankful. Do you get it? Like what could have broke down other people, it's only made me just go 20 times harder. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but I've never been nominated for no award ever. And I've contributed to this game for a long time, and I'm not gonna lie to you and say that, yeah, it doesn't affect, man, I don't think about it, but it ain't stopping, man. It's not making me think like, this, that. I'm still doing what I need to do, and like I said, that inspires me. So whatever obstacle that gets in my way now, like, I don't look at it as a down, I look at it as it inspires me. So yeah, those, when it came to like writing Doubted You, I realized that, yo, all this time, like I thought there was times when I was thinking God never had me or whatever, but he was just always there. I just needed to go through what I went through. And I put out a record, a lot went into that record. Man, we got a choir involved in the record as well. I've never worked with a choir before. I need to big up Evelyn. She's actually one of Burna Boy's backing vocalists.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She's one of the main ones, man. She tours around the world with Burna, man. I need to big her up, man. Her contributions were huge on this record. And I'm just glad that that song has touched people. And that was the last song that I've released as well. I released that song in February. I dropped that record February this year, man.
So I'd also like to just follow on from that, because one thing I was so happy to see for you on Instagram, you're performing at sold out festivals, crowds of people,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you're networking with some of the biggest artists in the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, was there ever a time you thought you wouldn't make it as a DJ?
Yeah, that question is just techie because, like I said, I never dreamed of being a DJ, bro. My dreams was like, yo, my music. Do you know what I'm saying? I didn't even know. I didn't think, am I gonna make it in DJing or not? It's like the demand just naturally came without me trying too much. Like my phone was just ringing. Like there was a time when I was on a wedding circuit. If you do someone's wedding great, like you know you're gonna have the next couple that's getting married and gonna come back to you. So that's why it just organically happened when it came to the DJing. You get me? And I'm just thankful for it. It's still a journey, like I said. I feel like I'm just getting started, but you know, I appreciate the kind words and what you're saying, bro, man. Trust me. But yeah, it's still a journey, man. We're on the journey right now. So yeah.
And I'd also like to talk about you becoming an entrepreneur, so Krayzee Parties.
Yes.
So for all my audience who don't know about Krayzee Parties in your event, I'm just going to give you the slot to talk all about it.
Yes. All right. So Krayzee Parties, for me, I need to big up Sticky and DJ Mexi and my circle of friends around me, because what inspired me to start Krayzee Parties was the thing of, I've got a community of people that literally, if they see me on a flyer, they're going to the party. You understand? And I started realizing that, and I'm like, there's a movement of people that, if they see that a certain promoter's holding a party, they message me like, Predz, are you gonna be there? And when I say yep, we're coming, it's like, right. So I actually later I just started realizing the value, like, because when you just turn up as a DJ, you're contributing to that other event's brand. But I started realizing my value, and I started saying to myself, right, like, I enjoy playing at other people's events as well. That's great, but I realized, there's actually an audience that want to see me play. There's an audience that want to follow me. So we came up with the Krayzee Party concept in like 2023. Remember doing a launch. Prior to that though, I was trying, but I don't know, man. It wasn't really hitting with the people, and I look back and I was like, I was a bit of an amateur in the promotion game, because promoting and DJing are two different worlds, man. Yeah, they're two different worlds. But 2023 is when I birthed Krayzee Parties, and I just said, you know what, let's go. And I remember having a successful launch. We had most probably like just under 200 people, and then within like 5 months, that happened in January, and then in May we had 1,200 people attending the event. And I said, okay, this is what's going on. And what I want to now do, what I am doing already, is like Krayzee Parties is obviously like the root, like, but there's going to be like sub brands underneath it, and I've just launched a sub brand called Selected, where that's more like uptown, like here in Central. It's more going to have like the brunch experience, and then you're going to have also other brands within it as well, where it's just more raw vibes. It's just about high energy and just different stuff. So that's the fundamentals of what inspired Krayzee Parties, how it started, and a little insight of where we want to take Krayzee Parties.
And just in the last question, I'd like to ask, how can people, book tickets for your show? I'll put a link,
Yeah. So anybody that's interested in coming into Krayzee parties, just go on the website, crazyparties.com. Put it in the screen, and yeah, man, go check it out. Make sure you follow Krayzee Parties as well on the Instagram. That's where we can obviously keep you updated. We've got a mailing list that you can sign up to as well, so you can see the events that we've got going on. And we're expanding as well. It's going to be bigger than just London events as well. We're actually taking it outside of London this year as well. So a lot is in store. So those that want to come out, have a good time, Krayzee Parties, that's the place to be.
Predz, thank you so much for this.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me. Thanks for taking time out and inviting me, man. Appreciate you, man.